in most places where the rich get richer and the poor because the rich communities can afford to pay rent and they get the money, right? And
That's the way it works.
that's how I ended up in this. I said, wait a minute.
Hello.
How are you?
You're doing excellent. How are you
Good,
doing?
good, thanks.
Hello.
How you doing?
Excellent. How you doing?
Good.
Well, we're hoping to get more people.
Questions? What can I help you with today?
I'm just coming in for the seeing it advertised.
Yep.
I come to all the meetings anyway, so I'm interested in all this stuff. So I just came to see what's going on.
Want to tell you what's going on?
Yeah. That's awesome. All right.
Yes, right? Everything's better in Tupper Lake, for sure. So.
All right, well, thanks.
Thank you. Pretty nice too.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty partial.
So,
Real nice to meet you.
this project right now is building off of the park master plan that was done five years ago. We're now moving into the construction document and ultimately starting to build the different phases of the project. Okay?
Okay.
So let me go through what some of the improvements are that we're looking at.
Okay.
Flanders Park, we're looking at continuing the walkway, the shoreline walk that ends at Mill Street right now, continuing that up, bringing it up to the intersection with at Martin and Cliff. Adding some more parking along Martin, all right, because of the popularity of Sunset Stage. Redoing the entrance here, which is right over here. So here's what's here right now. And what we're going to do is clean it up a little bit, remove some of that asphalt, get a sign there, nice entrance, maintain the view of the water. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the project there. So a lot of this is building upon what's already there. You know, there's a lot of good stuff already happening there. Let's either revamp it, improve the, if it needs some repair and all that, but let's keep a lot of the stuff that's there. This line this is the existing shoreline walk. And what we've done is we've continued that to incorporate a looping system with the walkway. That all goes all the way through the park, so it's very pedestrian oriented. We want to give priority to the people, not the car. The people first, then the vehicles. Okay. So where we have the baseball field, we're looking at the connecting walk. We're looking at adding some structure to the gravel parking lot that's out there. We looked at different concepts. This configuration, which is pretty much the outline of the existing parking area, gave some order to it. And then, so we'll be parking cars there still. And then, excuse me, the walkway kind of comes in through, connects there. So this is a point of departure where people get out of the cars. Connects to the neighborhood, connects to downtown. Then as we go through here, this is the existing boat docks. Those stay there, as does that existing parking area and boat launch. This is about what we've done. You can see we've formalized it a little bit, give it some order. The event space here, we're going to look at improving the quality of that from the soil saturation issue, addressing that. We put in what we're calling county fair parking. It's basically a gravel road parking on a lawn area for events, because we don't want to pave this whole area, right? We don't want to do that.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But some people point out that this parking lot is central to the waterfront, to the baseball field. This is the beach area.
I figured you might need this.
This is the vodka.
That's later.
Read the fine line in the comment.
Canoe carry?
This is the beach area, all right, that we're proposing. Here it is. You can see, it's a picture of sand and lawn area. Now the fact that we're 500 feet from a restroom, you have to have a restroom within 500 feet. So we're going to propose maybe a new bathroom in this location. We picked this beach location in part because of we're going through all the testing that's required by the Department of Health to make sure we got good quality water. We have to test it during the season of operation, so we'll be doing testing out there, water quality, during June and July of this year. But we picked this location because there's an outfall structure right here for DOT from all the road drainage. Likewise over here, we picked the area in between that was furthest from those for that. So there's the beach area. This is the existing pavilion. We're keeping that with the calling this an event space. Shoreline walk.
Yeah.
We move it back here. Continues down. We're doing a canoe kayak launch that's kind of used right now. This is the existing parking area. and that we're gonna enhance that, improve the quality of
Yeah,
it, and likewise add some more parking in through here. So we get parking here, more here. This is like beach parking and the like. Now, we also heard that the improvements along DeMars Boulevard, that it looks kind of unsightly. Looks like an old factory site, which it was, right?
Yes.
So, and then we're saying, okay, let's enhance that. People don't like the black fence. We said, let's do more of a park-like timber barrier. Park sign, we're talking maybe it becomes a waterfront park instead of municipal park. And then we do some scattered tree plantings, but not trees that block the view of the water, because that's so key. But they'd be like shade trees.
I agree.
So the big thing on this whole walking little thing is big. You could start here, and you could end up here, but by doing a big loop around and never step on the same ground on that loop.
Yeah. That's
So
very nice.
that's the project.
Okay. Yeah.
In a real brief 5-minute dissertation.
Now, when is this all supposed to start?
Oh, geez. You don't. Oh my gosh! You know how slow my projects are, Jim. I remember. Yeah, Melissa.
Yes, I know
we
you
met
will.
before. All right. So here's the pieces that you'll see first. We have money to do the improvements on that gate. Some of the improvements on that gateway. Mrs. Maroon's the ASIL fund gave us some money, and we got grant money to match it. So we're going to be able to do some nice work along the entrance at Mill Street, and that hopefully will be this summer. Can't promise because it's grant money and it's slow. But if not this summer, then by next summer.
Okay.
Okay, same thing with some improvements here on DeMars. We won't be able to do the whole thing, it'll be too expensive, but we should be able to get some improvements here. After that, we're going to have to do some detailed design. Did you get a chance to explain to Jim about like the different levels of design that?
The process?
Yeah, so this stuff's and this, they're not too terribly complicated. But like when we want to build the fishing pier, put in boat docks, build the beach, we're going to need some detailed construction documents that like the blueprints that a contractor would use. So we're going to have to have enough money to do the design, to do the construction documents, and then get money for funding. So it's going to take time because we don't have, and the village is real good. They do lots of in-kind, the guys, DPW, electric, who am I missing? And then the volunteers, like the guys that we'll put all that together, but it's going to take some time to get the grants and then work through all the paperwork. I think this is a 10-year plan anyway, I would say, all in all. Realistically, I know that's because you don't have to get the money, but trust me, it's a 10-year plan.
Well, good to hear that.
10 years goes by pretty quick.
Tell me about it. It does. It does faster every year, I find. But some immediate improvements, and then we go from there. The mayor's. This is a priority, this beach,
Yes.
right? So.
Yep. Yeah. No, I think that all looks very nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And actually, as we were talking about things, kind of flashed through my head as now this is like simple little things, but to bring up his attention. And I noticed when I come to town here, now your bathroom that you're gonna have, is that gonna be for 24/7 for any tourists that are coming through in the evening?
What is?
The bathroom. So that's a really good question, right?
Well, that becomes is the park open 24 hours a day?
Right, and the reason why I say this is because I think it's welcoming for the tourists that drive through Tupper Lake even in the evening hours, because I'm going to relate it with Long Lake. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when I drive into Long Lake, they have a little bathroom that's open 24/7, heated in the wintertime.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And everyone stops there, truck drivers, any kind of tourist.
Right by the beach?
Yes. So that's the model I'm thinking of, because I think that we kind of need something like that in Tupper Lake.
Okay, well, that's something to consider. I hadn't thought that all through. Yeah.
Cool. So, like I said,
That's right. Where the
I've been wanting to bring it up for a long time. So this is a
Maybe you had
good.
to use the bathroom.
So this is a good time to bring it up.
Right? Oh, it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's why right before you got here, we must have had, 10 people around the table? And they all had really good ideas to add to the, to our thinking about it. For sure.
Yeah, no, that was just one thing. I'm trying to think, if there's anything else.
As Melissa says, a 10-year, 10-year project. Projects like this, they get put together in pieces. You know,
Right.
and depending what grant money's available, that's what we'll go for, and that's what we'll build.
Right, right. And that's kind of what we did. We built little loggers. Good night, Pete. Oh, you're headed out. Take care.
Yeah, good luck. That thing looks beautiful.
Oh, good, great, thanks. And then we did we did the stage, and so and then
No, there looks. Actually, I like everything.
that's great.
No, that was the one thing. And the other little thing too is like maintenance.
Yes,
When it comes to like bulbs and light bulbs stuff like that,
right.
does it need to be the electric company, or can it be a maintenance crew from the park to work on to replace those light bulbs?
Boy, that's out of my area. We'd have to talk to Mary about that because I'm not sure how that.
Okay.
That's in kind of their operations.
Okay, the reason why I bring it because there's a lot of that because right now that we have a situation like that because the bulbs have been out for quite some time out at the park.
Okay.
And so keeping and maintaining, and we want to know if there's going to be a park maintenance and if it doesn't have to be
Sure.
the electrical
Sure.
department. Yeah.
Clint might be able to help you with that
Okay.
too. I don't know, but I wouldn't think so
Okay.
about
This
the
is
maintenance.
just a little simple
Jim-
thing that came along. I talked about other little things, but as we're talking about the whole system, what I brought up was like lights at the park when they're burned out. Does it need to be the electrical department to change those bulbs, or can it be the park maintenance crew to change the bulbs?
Well, it depends. Are you talking just a simple lamp?
The bulbs as they burn out.
The street
So
lights.
yeah, the ones that are along
The shoreline
the
walkways.
shoreway or what? Yeah.
I would imagine that is something that a park maintenance person could handle.
Okay. Yeah, so because it's
Don't take that as gospel, but I would think that it's a simple,
okay.
They
Yeah,
could.
right.
But with these LED lights,
Yeah, it was just a question I had to be
not saying that we shouldn't worry about it, but
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's gonna last for what, 20 years?
Wow, is that how long?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty longevity
Right, yeah.
of
Wow.
a LED light.
Wow.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, it was that I mentioned, and the other thing I mentioned was the bathroom down there. If it could be open 24 hours for tourists coming in through town, like they do in Long Lake.
I think that would probably happen.
Okay, so I just brought that up, so that's good. I like to hear that from
Yeah.
you. I like to hear that.
I mean,
that
it should
response.
happen if the demand is there.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, I think it's important to it because I think that even myself riding around town, being from town here, I might want to stop into McDonald's, or I might not want to go to Stewart's
Yeah.
or to my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's important to think through ahead of time because the design then has to accommodate that. Because if it's open to the public all the time, it has to be pretty tough.
Well, and then now you have to look at the lighting. Does the lighting
Oh,
address
right.
that, meet that, right?
Right.
And then,
Versus, it's really closed an hour after dusk. But
Sure.
here, I mean, especially the summer crowd walking the shoreline at night. I mean, what a great thing to do.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah. Let's say people are walking along at night.
Good day.
Exactly.
Very well. Very well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of maintenance to this
Aaron,
park.
how are you?
I want to get a couple
Good,
pictures.
Once
Wow.
this comes to
Yeah,
fruition,
get out of the way.
No,
that's
you're
gonna
not
be-
into it. I want
There's
you
a lot of maintenance in there
You
anyway.
like all this plan?
You know,
We'll keep. It's a lot of grass, is what it is. We're not gonna do a lot of fussy stuff that
Mhm. right,
becomes overgrown
Okay,
because it's too fussy.
right,
For
yeah,
this.
right.
Yes, for this, yeah.
Yeah, do you mind, Aaron, if I give you that? If I send it to you? in
Has there
writing?
been any
You better,
discussion?
right?
And I'm bringing
Because
this
I
up
don't want to miss any. But,
specifically for the Woodsman's
this is
Association,
through a 2050 grant.
but also for the other events at the park
That's the
that this
same
our
grant that had money
our
for the
area, our events area, and our events field would hold. Is there have been any discussion of a possible an additional grandstand in this area or anywhere in here where you could have lights?
What do you? What's
So
Is it bleacher seating? Is that what you're looking for?
well,
What do you-
covered seating, similar to this, maybe not as big, but when the Woodsmen would have their events, the biggest event of the Woodsmen was the night games, which were in the lighted area.
I see.
And if it's raining,
It rained 19 out of 20 times.
19 out of 20 times, all of 10, that's
Yeah.
all of
But
50%.
I mean, there's gotta be something that would be like maybe portable. It doesn't need to be there all the time. What do you think?
It doesn't have to be, but do they make something like that portable, and is it worth the time to always haul it in and out, or maybe bring into the concept of,
I don't think you want to build anything there, Clint. I really don't.
Signage design that's wrapped.
I actually,
I can try to break it down.
I agree with Clint.
for-
I don't know
if you want. I mean, is there anything in particular?
to some degree because we have lost a lot right there as far as when it comes to the Woodlands Field Days.
Because it had Sunset Stage in it.
And I think that's very important also.
well, and I think there's other events that would support those
It-
grandstands,
it-
and we're not just
it-
building them for the Saturday night of the Woodsmans.
Definitely.
Exactly.
You know,
And
Rock
I
the
think-
Ark.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough space to build it.
You don't think that there couldn't be something here? And even, it doesn't have to be a total V, just something around this area.
Should be fine. Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna put a reminder.
to have this, you know, that event. You know,
We'd
you
have
could do
to-
the heavy equipment over here where you're gonna have the lumberjack, you know.
And it's a place where you can tear it up a little bit more too, because you want to keep the ball field in good
Well, that's the
condition.
thing. That was always,
So you want to be able to do something where you can tear it up.
that was always the big bone of contention, and it
Yeah.
still is,
Still is.
Yeah.
with the baseball field in the Woodlands.
No, I haven't.
Yes.
And if you have it over there, they're not worried about tearing it up because nobody has to play baseball on it in the next week.
How many seats do you need?
Well, like I said, I can show you some. Like I said, have you ever been to the Woodlands Field Day in Tupper Lake?
No.
I can show you some photos.
How's the house?
That park packs.
It's.
I mean, like 1,000,
Well,
2,000?
No, not 1,000.
During the
500.
I'm talking about. I got
500?
those stands.
You don't think 500?
Those stands?
I don't think you can build a thing for 500 in there,
don't think
Clint. There's, you know,
Okay.
the whole concept here is to keep it open to the lake.
Well, and this is why I was suggesting this one area, because we have trees here, you have a gazebo here, kind of keeping that in here to build something, so you're not, and you're doing it this way, not,
Yeah.
you know, this way. You know, you're gonna have your trees, you're gonna have your pavilion anyway. It's, you know, you're not putting it back here, or, you know,
Well, it's something we can sure look at.
What
You know.
I can, if it's about a 500 seat capacity, is that what you're looking at? 400?
you know, somewhere, let's just say that would definitely accommodate
Yeah.
A 2 to 3, seating for a 2 to 3 is,
the demand.
2 to 300 is probably about, say, 20 feet by like 80.
Okay,
That's-
200 to 300, that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people the grandstands now, what the capacity is.
I don't know myself.
I don't know what the capacity of that is.
Mary would know.
My coworker, Lizzie's been on that.
Something we can look at.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's one of the things I wanted to actually say. You actually reminded me.
I mean, I have a direct connection with the Woodsmans and
Right.
the Woodsmans Association. And I think it should be something that should be discussed at least,
Yeah, I hear you.
you know, but I don't only believe that the Woodsmans would benefit from it. I think
Right.
there could be other events, even in the winter, like the vintage snowmobiles, you know, which unfortunately didn't get a lot of press for, and I think they'd never contacted you, right, when
Well,
they
2
did
days
that?
before.
So, okay, but you see where I'm
Yeah.
saying, you know.
But there's,
I'm not
there's-
holding you, I'm not
there-
saying, oh yeah,
no,
how
no.
come you didn't put?
No, there's definitely the opportunity for events to utilize
And
this
does any,
space.
I'm sure you remember when they had the snowmobile races?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, and they did it in the park that one couple years, and it was under the lights, and it was, I mean, just like the X Games with the snowmobiles, it was very similar to that in the mid to late 90s, I think they did it, and it was really cool. That's something that could happen in this area, you know? With lighting, you know, and a grandstand area, and then you would pull in additional seating, but just to have a covered grandstand in this area.
And
But
what,
just-
would,
just
and what
tossing it out
also
there.
too, because another idea that we spoke about at one point, and I haven't heard it brought up again, but it'd be like during the Woodsman's Field Day weekend, it wouldn't be great to have the horse pulls, have all your Woodsmans over here, baseball game at the same time, nice band going on.
Yeah. Oh,
And
absolutely.
just use this entire thing.
We're looking at that.
Yeah, and
That's in the plan.
we've talked about that a number of times actually.
with it's like a
There's no reason it couldn't happen.
exactly
No reason
all-
why it couldn't happen. You got more
exactly.
space. You got.
So that's why I think that's important, and I think that corner does
What
look
they're
perfect. If you look
talking
at
about
if you
is
look
an
at this design, that would work out
enclosed,
perfect in
like
there.
a seating
Covered
undercover
Covered stadium
covered spectator seating.
for
200 to
Woodsman's.
250, 300 people.
So like to replace the grandstand.
For the Woodlands Field Days
Interesting.
directly, but
And other events.
and other events.
Right, so a place where people can get some shelter,
Mhm.
sit, and
Yeah.
actually sit down.
Yeah.
That would be age friendly.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And then they'll redraw the horses back here again, or we can get them back here again. Yeah. Yeah, because
We
there
put
was
portable lights in, I think, don't
Yeah,
we,
we
for
did.
them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed to work for the Rock the Ark.
Mhm. Yeah, it did.
And I'm probably gonna say safe to say we're gonna give it a shot at the Woodlands this year
Yeah.
Oh,
because
yeah.
this is where it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if like a portable lights, there's a portable, roll-in kind of grandstand.
Well, we own the lights. Doesn't cost us anything.
That's true.
Right.
I don't know. We'd have to look at that.
Yeah, because I think this has always been available before. I don't think it was thought of, but it's a very interesting
Yeah, it's a
idea.
good, because it rains almost every single time you're at the
Yeah.
Woodsman's at night.
Mhm. Yeah.
Would there be any way to build on this and, cause you'd almost have, would that make any sense or not?
Well, I don't.
Well, I was just kind of thinking orientation wise of something in here, not trying to choke the rest of this off, but
Right.
to have something here because you have already the blockage of the trees. You already have the pavilion. So as far as the view wise
Right.
of the lake, you're kind of
Right.
hiding that.
Yeah, you're not doing it in the
Bandstand.
wide open.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want it in the
This
wide
is definitely
open.
the area, no, because
Right.
you have a lot
How
of
big is the
screening.
activity area for that?
Well,
100, about.
well, think about the grandstand.
The inside of the baseball
If this is to
It's
scale,
the infield.
it's pretty much it's the infield. Yes.
So there's.
you're probably
That's
looking at this
90.
right here.
So that's 180, about 200 by 200.
So
I'd say-
you're almost in that, you know.
We could do.
Let's look at it.
We put a sketch on that. That's an easy one.
Yeah. Would there be a way to potentially combine, if we have to build here, to
What-
combine the
Yeah,
usage?
well, my concern is I always heard keep that view open.
Right,
If we start putting a grandstand there, I think it might. I don't know.
okay.
It might be a billboard that blocks the water.
Is that what you're thinking, or are you thinking putting the bathrooms underneath the grandstand?
I'm just trying to think of only
Is
one
this
building to
500
fund.
feet?
So
that
if there would be a
have to be
way,
there?
right?
Yeah, that has to be there.
Well, it has to be 500 feet
It has to
from
be
the-
500 feet,
From the
but
beach, right?
could we, I think that's something, get your protractor in here.
Well, look it over and see
Yeah.
what you can come up with.
Because
Okay.
if we're gonna build
Yeah,
a
well,
building, one building's enough. Or one structure. I mean,
There's a lot of starving architects out there,
I know, right? I don't wanna be rating grants till I'm 80. But,
And this
That's it.
doesn't need to be some, Taj Mahal. I
No.
mean,
Yeah.
we want obviously aesthetically pleasing. but
sometimes it might
doesn't
be-
have to
it
be.
might-
Yeah.
It might be cheaper almost to do if it's just like for seating,
Right.
because you can get maybe some modular units to put in there,
right,
and really you're doing
Pavilion, like
you're doing a pavilion. Yeah,
Okay.
right,
Above
that's what you're
Got
building.
it.
You're putting a pad in,
got it,
put in your bleacher units, and then
right,
Yeah.
right.
and then
You basically have a roof system of
Right.
Yeah.
It
pavilion.
would hugely expand the potential uses here, right? Especially if, right, you don't,
well, you're beating the weather back
Yeah.
by doing that, which is a big.
Yeah. And the triathlon would be able to use that as
get
this,
people in the shade.
to get people in the shade. Rock the Ark.
If Oktoberfest is going to stay on there.
Where's the finish line for that?
Sure.
For
Several
the,
good things right there in a moment.
For the Tin Man,
Melissa, last time you ran it,
The
where was the
triathlon?
finish line?
I told you, if there was a yoga tin
Right,
man,
right
I'd
there's the
do it.
finish
but-
line.
Yeah, right on here.
Where do they come in, Katie? They come in to the park?
This way, right?
They come in through there?
Don't they come in from
depends
Pleasant?
Depends what one you're doing.
the Tin Man, they come out.
They go out this way,
Yeah,
and then they come in this way.
They come in.
I
I
think so.
believe so, right?
I think so. Because they come out of here,
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and this is like all transition.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no way to combine the usage of this with what that would be. Just
Grandstands or this
Big-
area?
The
Well,
structure.
I think that you could actually connect, or I think it would be an asset to the grandstands. 'Cause you
Yeah,
could
I'm not
have-
sure.
Okay. And you know, the other thing is, I have to see how far it's bigger than it looks, right? That's
Well,
like
no, I
100
mean, you're probably
feet
talking
away.
something that's maybe
There you
like
go.
that.
Okay, got it.
You know, this is a pretty big structure.
That's massive.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you're,
but- yeah,
so you know,
yeah.
really, maybe it's say it's that size again. There's the
Right,
pavilion. You know,
right.
that's probably not too far off the footprint. You know,
Well, why don't you
I-
try
we
and
can
look
do it,
something,
yeah.
fix something up and see. We have to go down and look and see where are
we'll
we?
get you some examples what
Yeah.
that could look like. You know,
Yeah.
if you kind of put something together with
Yep.
parts, you know, and then if you build something.
Okay. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Okay?
That's not a bad, because what that is as you're coming in from the north, if it looks good, I'm always big on, if you're gonna build something, make it look good. You know, that becomes that's like a gateway feature to the park right there.
You got a parking lot here, so you really wouldn't
Yeah.
It'd be
be,
very convenient.
Yeah.
you know. You think they'll bring the horse pull back this year?
I don't think so.
No?
Because the baseball, everything that's going on in the baseball field, I already said they don't want horses there, so
Right, that's out.
Yeah.
so and it probably isn't in there.
Is it a horse pull
Plans.
for with the
It's like the
Woodsman
New York
Fest?
State
Yes.
Wizards. Yeah, it's
That's
like,
when it was.
It's not a weight pull.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's
a
pretty
horse.
major.
Oh, yeah,
They come up
draft
here with a lot of
horses
horses,
and-
and they come here. They
So-
fill the
See,
motels,
we used
hotels.
to tear that infield up every year.
So it's
and then
not
have
it's
to go
not like
back
like an exhibition. It's an actual competition.
No, it's a competition.
Yeah, yeah. They come in and they, for pretty good prizes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
And they had. You
and
know,
I mean, and there is sometimes, like I said, actually, I seen them grandstands. I have pictures to prove it. Completely packed.
Those are the
And
old
right
days.
now,
though.
with no horses, on Sundays, this
yeah.
year, there was not one single person in the stand. Not one single person.
How long does the
We
event
had
go
bleachers
for?
though set up too, right?
I'm sorry.
How
The,
Yeah,
long does the
Bush
event
was
go
aside.
for?
Yeah, yeah, and they had a demonstration.
Weekend.
2 days.
2
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
So it unofficially starts on Friday evening, but activity is happening in the park. And then you have obviously all day Saturday, they have the loader competition, truck driving competition, four-man
Cut all the
event,
saws
Yeah.
and all
and
that.
all the lumberjack.
And I took it, yeah.
And then Sunday was the skidder competition for the heavy equipment, and then they had the horse pulls.
Yeah. And I was asked from time to time, what could possibly bring the people in other than horseball, and I can't think of anything.
Oh,
It's a
horses
pretty
were
unique
great just to
event.
see the horses.
And I've looked up,
Yeah.
and I've looked up Boonville,
Yeah.
and they had the same events that they have in Tupper Lake. So just by losing that, we're losing a lot.
Well, we're-
Because there's horse people.
Oh,
Something up.
we'll do that. That's the easy one. I mean, where's the horse pull happen?
Pardon me?
Well-
usually,
Oh, there,
usually-
but
Is it?
and
well,
but
I'm
it would
just
just
guessing,
be-
Clint, where do you
just
think
do
the
the
horse
same.
pull would be? About in here somewhere?
Somewhere, I
where's
would
that?
think in the
It's
same
about-
area,
about
yeah.
200 feet they need.
yeah,
We'd have to
yeah.
get all
right
that
where they
stuff.
do
They
their,
kinda
their-
did the
their-
same thing
Their
in that-
equipment operation
so
right now. That's a big enough area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They usually did, they do the four-team event, the four-man team event, which is
'Cause all they do is
here
they just
in
make a
this
big run around
area.
the circle.
The loading's usually around, actually the loading is usually back here behind the
Excuse me 5
pavilion.
minutes. I'll be right back. I
But-
just got to run to the post office.
I don't know where they're doing the skidding these days.
Huh?
Well, I think if you do any type of spectator seating, it's like, okay, how's it gonna be positioned to accommodate the most events? Because if you're spread out like that, you got people positioned there. Is it like the main event happens there, and then if you're going to use it for the like the Tin Man, how does it work for different events?
Then you could use it for softball too, because this is set up for
Yeah.
regular baseball. This is more of the younger.
You could use
No,
it
I
as a
can't.
practice field.
I couldn't get a softball field in there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tight.
That'd be tough.
Because we measured it out for the Little
Yeah.
League field actually, and that was pretty tight.
Yes.
And I'm bringing up like I said, the grandstands, directly for the Woodsman's Association. But I would
Mm-hmm.
welcome, either Nielsen or Carrie Sny or somebody from that board to come and, say and give their point of view of, they can adjust it, you know, because I don't want to say this is where it has to be, and then have Bucky North or somebody come in and say, no, you can't do it there. Not saying that they would, but you know, okay, well,
Just get their input.
to get their input, you know.
And, you know, I think also you have to think about, you know, is it a morning event, day event, afternoon, all day?
All day.
Because you have
The
to think about,
Woodsman's is all day.
yeah, where the bleachers, the grandstand seating is, you know, if it was like along parallel to Mars, then you get the setting sun that's going to be in people's eyes.
Right. Well, that's
You
where
know?
I'm kind of thinking of
Yeah.
orienting it this way.
Yeah.
You know.
Actually, this is already in the sunset.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're looking
They were
south.
telling us about how hard it
Really?
is to play on the.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to
First
take
base
pictures
line
of
First base. Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, that one actually sits in the right direction.
That would it would point south. I mean, during the in the dead of the
Because this one's already
the day the
facing
sun's
the
so
sunset.
high, it's
so
not
if this
right
one's
in your
facing
eye.
this way, you're
Yeah.
going to be facing.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
and if you have a winter event, you welcome that sun. in your eye.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean,
that's my
it's another. You
input
got the
on the-
space for it,
Oh, for sure.
and it's
For sure.
sounds like there's a need for it. I mean, it's the weather.
Right. And you know, if that's the event field, that's what's established, then you want to set it up so that it's best for events
Mhm.
for a long time.
right.
Yeah, and then what that will do too is that will help out keep all the things that's always been going on through Tupper Lake to keep functioning.
Yeah.
Well, then it becomes an attractive venue for someone looking to do an event. You know, I mean, not all the events have been thought of yet, right? And,
Yeah.
you know, there's
Exactly.
other things that are going to happen,
Good point.
and with all the amenities that you have going on, you know, you get some more hotel rooms and all that, and the restaurants, and you got the water, and it's great.
I've even read in some of the older historical papers of things that we don't even think about today. Things that they actually do in other places. You ever hear of Skidroring?
No.
That's being pulled behind a horse.
Yeah.
And they used to do that on the lake here in Tupper Lake. I've actually read about it.
So
Thing
like,
is-
what did you say?
Well, the
like,
horse runs, and you get pulled by a rope. And if you
but you're just like
And
on
water
skis.
skiing.
When they
Like
have-
barefoot water
they
skiing.
have they have major competition.
No, it's in the winter.
If you
It's
look
a winter
at,
event.
yeah, it's a winter
Yeah.
sport. You got skis, and they even have jumps. You get pulled. And
Jeez.
they
Yeah.
race.
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, it's like water
Now,
skiing.
now
right?
wouldn't that draw people?
Yeah. I think just to watch it would draw people.
Yeah.
There's some
you
places-
could, you could do that down at the
But
park.
for
That'd be
example,
great.
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just something that
Yeah.
thinking out of the box that
yeah.
used to be in the box.
Yeah, so
years
things
ago.
that, like I say, ideas that just need to be brought up.
Yeah. Do people win? Is the pond too rough for wind sailing, or not? Because
Yeah.
that's something we
like
we
a
can't-
regatta.
Well, where you
You
get
mean
on
ice boats?
Ice boating.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, because people would do that on Lake Champlain back when it iced more. I mean, now it's challenging because it doesn't ice all the time.
I don't think we get
Yeah.
you need kind of a glare
You
ice.
need
don't
the
you?
nice
yeah.
smooth ice.
That's
Yeah.
a once
Yeah.
in a
Although-
great while water lakes like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's one big Zamboni out there.
And you know another thing I've seen out there,
Have a good insurance policy.
which
you
would be
know.
Where does Zamboni
I don't know how it
go?
works. It probably sounds like a big
Pontoon
one,
Zamboni.
but it's you ever hear of the seaplane fly-ins?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Wouldn't this be a great shoreline to have a seaplane fly
Oh,
in?
yeah. Oh, that'd be really neat.
It would.
Because I've been to one before. So these and they draw. It's unbelievable.
Well, didn't they have one there for a few years over in this area?
Yeah, I've been to
That they,
one. Where,
that they would give seaplane rides
oh,
from here?
okay, yeah. I've been to one where like a place like an inlet.
Long Lake,
They have like 500 airplanes show up, and it's
Oh,
operated,
like an event.
yeah, and it's operated
Yeah.
by the FAA. They actually have a. They
Traffic
actually go
or
there and
air-
they, have,
air
and they
traffic
control
control.
the traffic coming in and out. And they have competitions.
That's neat. That's neat. I mean, the thing I want to see I've never been to a balloon festival. Could you do balloons here?
You could. The only thing that I see, because I've been to a balloon festival in Glens Falls, and it's just absolutely unbelievable.
That's the one I want to go. I want to check out.
It's
Was
ju-
it good?
actually, it's just breathtaking.
But-
But the only situation I see here is there's no place to land the balloons.
Oh, that's a problem. If they can, that's a
Exactly.
problem.
Over there, they
More-
take
more
off and they come
trees.
down in a field somewhere.
Yeah,
but there's no-
once you're up, that doesn't.
There's no fields over
kind of
here.
the mercy of the wind.
Oh, I thought they just went. See now that I thought they went up and
No,
then they
no,
went down.
no. They have it, and all of a sudden they all go up. They all take off about at the same time, and it's just like watching an incredible fireworks show.
Yes, but then they have to go somewhere else to put down, and
Then
we
they
have them
just
in
go
the middle
for a
of
little ways, and then they come back
Well,
down.
they
to
find
have
it's
an
the
area where
wind.
it
The wind
can go.
carries it.
Okay, yeah, that would be really
Yeah,
bad here.
yeah, yeah, and they charge and they charge some pretty good prices because the people that can actually buy a ticket and take a flight with them. So
That's
you
on my
would
bucket
love
list.
that.
I'm going to do that. That is definitely on my bucket list, for sure.
And in fact, last year there were so many people they couldn't even get everyone in there.
Oh wow.
Just at the-
In fact, I
at
heard they
the
turned down
airport
like
there.
half the people.
Can you do water landings on them?
I hope
Well,
not.
for the photo things.
Not
they do,
in the
where
one
they
I'm
kiss the
in,
water.
Aaron.
Someone might be able to. If someone who's really good might be able to figure something out. But
You know, Jim, I wanted to tell you how you did. You were behind the exhibit of the big Tupper photos, right?
yes,
I so enjoyed it. And I think, Aaron, you had an article, and there was
Yeah.
an article in the Free Press. My goodness, I enjoyed looking at those pictures.
thank you,
That was so neat.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
appreciate
Hopefully he's gonna be taking a lot more here soon.
Well, that's right. Fingers crossed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
One of these days.
Yeah.
Just somebody. It'd be great if Ford took it over, but anybody,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
It was a huge asset to our community that we're really missing out.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
And-
very nice.
and-
I like this. We're looking at.
Great to hear. Great to hear. It's good. We've gotten really good feedback. Well, you know, the
Well,
thing
who
is,
doesn't like a park?
well, no, but you
That's
know
why
what?
I do them. They're easy projects.
We've,
You don't get run out of town.
Right.
You don't have to leave your car running.
we've heard people in the past as they've given like feedback that led to this, and then
Yes.
you know it gets improved. People had some good suggestions today,
Mm-hmm.
and now we just have to.
And other than the parks, I know this is a park plan, but you're working with the town and village.
Yes,
Well, I brought the idea up at the town board meeting.
I read the Free Press, you know, so I
Mhm.
frequently read about your contributions, just so you know.
Oh,
I
thank you.
follow. Yes, but anyway, go right
Yeah.
ahead.
And actually, I think, in a serious way, not jokingly, is wouldn't it be nice to buy Sugarloaf Mountain?
Well, now you can. I'm gonna embarrass myself. I don't. Is that's the backside near the golf course? I don't.
There's
I
a
I've
hill
been
there.
reading-
That's what I
okay.
told. There's a hill, and that's not actually the first one because I read your article. The Manning Hill was the
Yeah.
first place they skied for about a year.
Yeah, just 1 year.
But then they took that hill, and that was their ski slope, and actually it was. I don't know exactly if I'm 100%, but I'm pretty sure the OWD employees and the owner, they're the ones who actually built it, cut the trails. It was
That
all
wouldn't surprise me.
because it was all OWD owned land.
Right. Right.
But now it's owned by the Adirondack Club and Resort.
Okay.
And I'm sure that's a piece of land that they would probably want to sell. That's part of their whole thing.
Okay.
So wouldn't that be a nice piece of land to buy, which would help them out, and which would help the community out?
It's a very interesting idea. I thought. So
Yeah.
is it like a foothill from Mount Morris?
Yeah, and I can show you a
Is that-
picture too. I want to. Yes,
Okay.
it's and it had very nice hill cut. There was a rope tow. They ran that in the 50s,
Okay. I've heard Patty, supervisor, talk about the road
Mhm.
tow.
and then
Yeah.
they built Big Tupper.
Okay.
But then they just didn't need the hill, and the hill grew in. I heard that even the motor and everything's still there. Trees are growing around
Is
it.
it really?
Huh.
No kidding.
Huh.
And but just to cut that hill and put a T-bar and operate that volunteer basis while we have snow
Mm-hmm.
to go along with the rest of the alpine that's going on.
It's a really interesting idea.
And then you could take that, all the rest of that along with Big Tupper, and what a ski destination.
Do you, Jim, I know you have extensive files. Do you have any images of like any mapping or schematic? You know, the pictures are great, but like to let us get a bird's eye look at how that was all.
Like aerial view.
Yeah.
Yes, I have
you know what I
aerial.
mean?
I
To
have
vis-
aerial photos of the whole area.
Oh,
Would
okay.
you?
So I'm sorry, I'm jumping in here because SHPO
State
Next.
Historic Preservation.
says, well, you have to do an archaeological dig on this site before you do anything.
I got the
And I
trails.
said, I don't think it's all been disturbed.
This right here, Jim.
This
Okay.
here, this here.
This
You have
was
pictures
not.
of
Yeah.
You know
of
what?
this site.
Not this site, but I tell you what.
Who would
I have a
them?
picture. I have a picture of Racket Pond
Yeah.
with logs in it from a biplane.
That-
You know what I mean? So I go back to the 1800s.
Yeah.
See, I need to get like a picture like that, then superimpose current landmarks on it, so
Right.
they can see that
I'm gonna
this was.
see.
It was
and I do-
already
and I
So
do-
this
I do
did
have
this
a
start
couple
off as
aerials.
water?
I have seen a couple aerials. I'm gonna look.
Or would-
Now that you said that, that's on my
No.
list.
Okay, good, good, because
This
we know-
water or this water?
What was here?
A mill, right?
I think it was.
Oh, this was
Mills.
all mill. This is all railroad.
Oh, that okay.
Lumber.
And this never used to be. This was man-made from Satin Gold Dam.
Yeah, that I
Yeah,
know, but
okay.
I didn't know
All
if
right.
this was underwater at one time and it was filled.
believe
No.
so.
No.
I
I
don't
think
believe
they
so.
flooded the pond to get the.
It was.
water
I think it
to
was a
the
swamp.
mills.
Yeah,
Because this was all. Isn't there an old railway through here? Jim?
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Railroad bed.
Yeah, yeah.
And then would go back out.
It goes all the way to Corey's. It goes all the way to the lake. There's a rock.
Give me a rock.
Chalmers
Yeah,
Rock.
Chalmers Rock. Yes. Yep.
good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a
I bet
valley
you.
in
I
there.
bet you got aerial.
And right where that
view of
valley
this.
is.
That would be
where the
great if I could get those.
Anything you
That would,
have
that would
of what
save
this
us
was
like
I can find
thousands
some
of
stuff.
dollars.
Would
Yeah.
be a huge help.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
gonna look. I'm pretty sure I've seen
Okay.
some aerials of this.
Okay, so I can when I call every day, you won't get like
Right.
that.
And you know, I think we could even get. I have mostly spruce and hemlock at home.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
I'll
it-
look because I see a lot of pictures, so I know, and I got all Kathleen's photos. And I know she's flown over here. There's not a ton of them, but we can find some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I mean, there's narrative.
What do you mean you got mostly spruce and hemlock?
It's
What
the
do you-
book. It's like the
Oh.
definitive
Oh.
history of Tupper Lake,
Oh,
which is where our hemlock cone, because it was mostly spruce and hemlock
Yeah.
when they came.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
population of
If,
Tupper Lake.
excuse me, everybody, great
No.
seeing you.
Most
I gotta
of
get
them
my
are.
son
That's all I
off.
got
Good
to
to
say.
see you.
All
Take
right,
Yes,
care.
yes, yes, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll
all
see you
right.
later.
It's good seeing you. Yeah,
Okay,
we'll talk
thank you.
soon.
Sounds good, Clint. Thanks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good. And then also anything you have in your collection of where the town cross country ski center is, Sugarloaf. That would be just fascinating because sometimes a picture really, well, you know,
Yes.
picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yes.
Jim is like a major photo historian of the community.
well, you mentioned that. I said, oh my God, what a key position for a community
Yeah.
to have.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, where I grew up, we had one, but there's not people
No.
doing that.
No, I got lucky. Actually, Kathleen Bigelow left me her collection, which then I
Yeah.
gave it to the Tupper Lake Art Center. But I'm still working with it because I know all the information.
She was for work for the paper, right?
She worked for
Free Press.
Adirondack Enterprise for 30 years.
Oh, Enterprise. Okay.
Both-
And the
both
Free
papers.
Press for 20 years after the Adirondack Enterprise. And in the Mostly Spruce and Hemlock, it also quotes her as being on the board, I think, for another bigger newspaper. I can't exactly think of what newspaper it is right now.
New York Times.
No, actually, I
Okay.
think it's either the Press Republican or Syracuse or something like that.
Oh,
Huh.
Yes.
Yeah. And so she took pictures for 50 years as one photographer,
there's a lot of darkroom time.
covering
Well,
just Tupper Lake,
Yeah.
which meant she covered every single thing that happened. Well, like I said, not everything's all happy stuff either. She covered everything. She
Right.
covered accidents, fires,
Right.
buildings being built, weddings, everything, aerials. She did it. She was the, what do we call it? She was the reporter for the area.
Right. And luckily, you know, all her stuff was saved and is now, available to the public. It's pretty cool.
And her photos are in Mostly Spruce and Hemlock.
Oh, there you
Because
go.
she worked for
Okay.
Louis Simon, who wrote the book.
got it.
Right.
Because he was the owner of the Tupper Lake Free Press and the town historian. Yeah.
Cool. Now, who else, Jim, is doing history work these days
Thank
here
you.
in town?
We'll see you again, huh?
There's, pardon me, you and
Yeah,
Aaron.
see you
good
later,
to
Aaron.
See you. If you don't hear from me by tomorrow afternoon,
Okay.
bug me.
All right, I'll see
Okay.
you.
All right. Thanks.
See ya.
John Copps has his postcard collection,
And he's
right?
very good.
We should also check with John because he has a lot of old images
And
too.
he has stuff that's, because not everyone can cover every area.
Sure.
And he's more of the later stuff.
Okay.
Because see, since I ended up at Kathleen Berger's, and I got some later stuff,
Right.
but he really concentrates and he digs the information out of all the old newspapers
Right.
online. Yeah, and he just
So between the two of you, you got at least 100 years, and that's pretty much Tupper Lake.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
100
yeah,
years.
yeah. Probably more than that, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, well, yeah, 100, at least 100
Was
years.
it? What was it?
At
1900?
least
I mean, early 1900. No,
1900. The town incorporated because the town
Okay.
caught on fire, burnt down, but then it incorporated it right after that.
Okay.
they rebuilt, and then they weren't sure if they were gonna.
Right? Oh, thank goodness they did.
It's some interesting history.
What, Jim, what's the best way to get your pictures? Do you scan them and make scans of them, or do you want to bring them in and have Mary scan them and send them
You
to
know what?
us?
I'll bring some photos. I'll bring them in a couple of nice photos.
Why don't you bring them in and then Mary can scan them on her scanner machine and send them to us?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yes, because I'm gonna look.
Okay.
I'm gonna do some
good.
digging.
Good.
Yeah, so it's just this area right here.
Yeah.
It was Flanders all the way down to.
Because I know that she did a flight around. Well, she was up, and I'm from the OWD area. I got all that.
That's so cool.
So I think I got some other directions. Yeah, I can say it is because looking from the OWD, looking towards the junction, you can see when you zoom in because everything's really high definition. You can actually see all the railroad tracks, all the old houses.
Oh, I would love to see those.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. So this is nice. I'm very glad I stopped in tonight.
Yeah, thanks for your input.
Thank you for coming.
Yes, you're welcome. No, this is
Appreciate
very
it.
important.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Oh,
Yes.
dear.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.
Take it
Yeah,
easy.
I'm sure I'll see you around again.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Good to see
Yes,
you, Jim.
yes, thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
That Tuesday, you're on the
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Bye.
That's right. We're gonna Mardi Gras. I told them this better be a fun open house. It's Mardi Gras.
Yeah. No, like I say, I think that we can make that can happen.
Oh yeah, it's
This
all
is
there.
the
Yeah.
type of like I say, this is
The way things get done around here, no
yeah.
doubt.
And I tell you
No
what,
doubt.
just look at the ski thing here at the Brewski.
Yes.
It's amazing how many people showed up.
How many were there this year?
1,400.
1,400.
Yeah.
It was 4 Sundays
Oh yeah.
last
Yeah, it was actually I didn't go last year, but I went a couple of days around. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna go this year, and I went there, and I couldn't believe it when I was walking down the.
Cars were like from the country club down, all the way up to like kind of like the mountain area, and then down toward down Tamarack, and then down the country club road like
Oh my
to State Route
gosh.
30.
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So even think now you can compare that with the ice fishing derby 1,400 this year also.
Absolutely.
Same size.
They're doing a good job for us at Roost, aren't they?
Yes.
That's where all those numbers are coming from.
Yeah,
Katie's,
yeah.
Katie's driving all that
yeah,
stuff.
someone's
out.
working on it.
As a matter of fact, I was really thinking about coming. And then I went on Facebook and I saw 233 people interested and said, I'm really just going to talk to people
Yeah.
and ski around a little
There was
bit.
1,100 people on the Facebook thing.
That's so.
Yeah, you can check it out. I got it on my Facebook page.
Yes?
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
having a blast.
That's
it's,
so good.
yeah, on those big fat mountain bikes. That's what I'm saying. There's stuff like that. So
We're
if we
meeting
can make this
actually
all
around-
happen, like you said, people will show up.
How far do people come from?
They came, it was surprising. I haven't looked at all, we collected all the zip codes.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at them yet. It was just on Saturday, but there was New Jersey plates, Connecticut plates.
Yeah. Well, that's a great telltale how far people
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to travel. You know.
I heard, not to be quoted, but that when a certain group went down to New York this year, more people knew Tupper Lake than knew Saranac Lake down in the city. That there was more name recognition.
Or at the Association of Towns. Or?
No,
No,
for
it was
a,
the New York Times travel show we went to.
Oh.
yeah,
It was crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
It's hey,
Yeah.
well, because you know what, we have something authentic to offer that nobody else does.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah. And I know how successful you made Rouse's Point.
Oh well, thank you. I tried.
Because that's one of the things that you're one of your selling points. So I know.
Rouse's
Yeah.
Point's my hometown, you know. But
Uh-huh.
I'll tell you, Jim, they didn't
Uh-huh.
stick with things the way Tupper did. We had a really
Mm-hmm.
good few years. We got actually Jared designed that beautiful pier. Have you ever been looked on the water in Rouse's Point?
Actually, I've driven through it several times. As I say, driven through, but
Can
actually,
you
I think it's a
picture the
beautiful
pier and the
place.
pavilion and all? That's all his design that we got built. But Rouse's Point isn't like Tupper. It got really discouraged about Pfizer closing and Wyeth, and they kind of stopped investing in themselves. I'm hoping they pick up again. But Tupper's never stopped. Tupper's just no, it's crazy.
So we
it's
got
wonderful.
And now we got the hotel meeting coming up tomorrow night.
Oh no, I don't know about that. What's going on with that?
They're supposed to be up in front of the planning board.
Oh, is this Betsy's the Crossroads project?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so they're supposed to be hearing where they're at
Good,
Which
good.
one's this? Is this where
That's the downtown,
Drex is?
downtown.
Are they
which way
supposed to
am I
have some
going the right
pretty
way?
detailed
Yeah.
plans there?
Down.
I'm not sure.
No,
Because
this
I
is
seen it
actually when
posted
you
on
drive into
Facebook.
town, that little vacant lot, kind of
Stop
kitty
it.
corner from Stewart's. They're gonna take some buildings down.
Oh,
and it's all-
downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually-
wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's right there. It's just really basically across the road from there.
Yeah.
So everything all works together.
Right.
Yeah, the 1 inch away.
It's actually it's. Yeah. It's right here.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Where
right
is it?
here.
Where are we?
Yeah, this is the free press.
No, this is Stewart's here. Wait, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, we're up here. Here, right here.
Yes.
Right here,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, that's it right there. That area. Yeah, this is the free
Oh,
press
that's
right here.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
Stewart's.
Yeah, this
here.
is an older picture because that building's not here anymore.
That's a,
So that they're looking at that.
it's
Who's
actually,
that?
It's Betsy Lowe and Nancy Howard. Betsy was really instrumental in getting the funding for the Wild Center. And Nancy used to run the Wabeek, Nancy and
Oh,
her
yeah,
husband. And so they've been working on this for like 15 years, but they got a regional council award, they got money to build it, and
Is it going to be a franchise or what?
I don't know yet on that. They're really they're thinking boutique, more downtown, a hotel. I don't know what they're talking about for a management company or anything at this point.
How many rooms?
Originally, they were talking 40. I'm not sure where they are now.
Sure.
Like 35 is like the magic number. Things aren't profitable
Yeah.
under 35, so
Right.
it's like so
Yeah.
40 is like the magic number. Which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
it's exciting.
Yeah, that's one. Then another plan that I've heard, I hadn't heard about it again, but I've read it in the paper once, was Lemire's building a hotel, basically right across from the ball field, right where the Dollar General is.
Yeah. I'm pretty optimistic we're going to see a hotel
So,
on DeMars. One of
It
these
would be
days.
nice, actually, it would be a nice thing to do right there.
Yeah, it would be. It would be great.
Yeah. Clear that out right across from the ball field.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you need rooms
Yep.
for the people that are at the events.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be wonderful.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I think, I think we're right on the edge of more discovery like that where people are going to want to invest.
Yeah,
Really
so as we were
do.
just saying this now, so everything we just said, if that all just comes right
Yeah.
together.
Be great.
Yeah.
Everybody, I'll tell you, Jim, everybody in the region, they love Tupper because they respect everything this community has done for itself. That's why. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really something.
A lot of friends
Excellent.
out there.
Okay.
A lot of
And-
friends.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Good job.
Good, thanks. Good to see you.
Yes.
All right.
And
Keep up
see
the
you
good
later.
work.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.